Hello, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. Today it's time for the Scrappy or Stash Sampler Block number 3. Come along with me today and I'll show you what I did. So the block we're making is based on Barbara Brackman's Encyclopedia of Quilts, and I'm using block 1646B as my pattern, which is a Grecian square. I'm going to be making 2 of these blocks today. I will need, for 2 blocks, 4 dark fabric, 4.5 by 5 inch, 4 light fabric, 4.5 by 5 inch, 4 dark fabric, 5 by 5 inch, 4 light fabric, 5 by 5 inch, and last I need 2 4.5 by 4.5 dark for the center of my blocks. I'll make sure and put cutting instructions in the description. To get started, we're going to take the lighter fabric, 5 by 5 inch squares. I'm going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner across each of the lighter squares. Next, we're going to take the 4.5 inch by 5 inch rectangles of light fabric. We're going to draw a line right down the middle of the 5 inch side. Now we're going to make some half square triangles with the 5 inch squares. I'm taking the dark fabric, placing it right sides together, and I'm putting my light fabric on top so I can see the line. I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch away from that line on all 4 of these block pairs. I chain pieced these 4 units, and then when I got to the end I flipped these around, and now I'm stitching on the other side of that line, also 1/4 inch. Next I'm going to do the same thing with those 4.5 by 5 inch rectangles. I've got them right sides together and I'm stitching 1/4 inch on both sides of the line. With that stitching done, I'm cutting these units apart, cutting directly on the line that I drew. Once those are all cut apart, I pressed them open to the dark side. Now it's time to trim these down to 4.5 inches. For the half square triangles, I'm using the diagonal line on my ruler. I'm matching that to the seam. I'm making sure the left and the bottom overlap 4.5 inches. Then I can trim the top and the right. Then I flip this little unit around. Then I can line it up with 4.5 inches, also the diagonal line, and trim the top and the right hand side. Now trimming these little half square rectangles is a little easier. We just need to line up the seam with our 2 1/4 inch line on the ruler, trim off the right, then flip this little unit around, line up that seam again at 2 1/4 inches and the left at 4 1/2 inches, and trim that right hand side. With everything trimmed up to 4 1/2 inches, I'm starting to lay out my block, both blocks. The 2 little 4 1/2 inch dark squares go in the middle. The half square rectangles go around in a T shape with the dark facing the outside. Then in the 4 corners, we will place the half square triangles with the dark facing inside. Then I will be ready to stitch these together. I will start with row 1 and stitch the 3 units at the top together, then row 2, then row 3, and then I will put each row together, and that will complete the block. When I'm putting rows together, I like to nest the seams where the units come together. Put a little clip on there. That way I'm going to get a nice straight edge when these blocks join up. I'm really loving all the shades of browns that are going to be in this quilt. I'm excited to see it when it comes to all together. We're only on block 3 out of 10. And here are the 2 finished blocks. They are so cute. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.